Okay, this is a quick video to explain how to use the Control F checklist. In any Google Doc or Word program for that matter, you can hit Control F and a little box appears. And I've developed a system for typing things into this little box that get highlighted in your essay. So, like for instance, if I type the word lot, I will see wherever that weird word appears. Or let's say I type in you. Oh, okay, there's three places it appears. Here's number one, here's number two, and here's number three. And what it does is it draws your attention to something so you can think about revising it. Um, Everything in here, if you control F and find it, I want you to think about fixing it. You may not have to be fixed, but it draws your attention to common places where writers look like high school writers instead of college writers. So, what this is really built around is what kinds of things would I put in as a college professor that are patterns of high school writing? And I don't want to see that in your writing because you're supposed to be a college writer. So first is words to just flat out avoid. A lot, sure, well, cause, in my personal opinion, in conclusion, those things are figures of speech. Writing is not just speech written down on paper. Writing is the opportunity to take time to say something in the best way possible, in the most concise way possible, in the most precise way possible. And you want to avoid some of those pieces, some of that language. Homonyms are when you use the wrong word. So if you got the wrong it's or the wrong to or the wrong there, this will help you check for those things. Just do not use you and your. They should not be used. Don't use they or their for singular pronouns. So that's a mistaken number. If I said the student lost their calculator, that'd be incorrect because student is singular. So I would want to say the student lost his or her calculator, or I could say the students need their calculators. Now, students is plural, right? Don't use the word thing. Don't use the word people. Those are vague words that don't have any meaning. Check all of these singular pronouns. Don't use they or their or them for those words, but rather make sure that those are singular pronouns. Avoid contractions. Okay, now these here are things to do to look for ways to be more concise. So first of all, look for all the helping verbs, and if you can replace them, do so, right? Look for those weak to be verbs. Look for clunky language where you've got a lot of prepositional phrases. Try to avoid starting sentences with there are, this is, and the word that can almost always be revised. So these are hints that your writing isn't concise. Here are you could control F for punctuation as well. Every single one of you should control F the comma and make sure you don't have just a comma in between complete thoughts. Review the see and fail videos about that. Sentence complexity. So if you can use searching for punctuation to check for or create more complex sentences. If I search for that comma and there aren't any, that means I'm writing period to period to period to period. If I control F for the period and one of them shows up at the end of every sentence and that's all that there is in a paragraph, you don't have that complexity. Again, review the see and fail videos. They can show you how to be more complex. So that's a brief introduction to how to use this document to look through at the end of the writing process. Writing is never done, it's just due, but to always be improving your work. If you have questions about this, please don't hesitate to contact me, and I'd be happy to do some work with you using the Control F checklist.